Yeah. Shall I just rewind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about perfect actually. Should just drop straight in.
First time!
Hey folks, welcome back. It's the Big Barn Build, and today we're working on our oak frame which is going to sit in front of our sliding patio doors. In the last video we started getting our corner braces done and cutting our tenons for our joinery. Today it's all about getting the mortises and test fitting the whole frame. So we're using the chain mortiser, and some of you will have seen this before on the channel. It's kind of a love child between a router and a chainsaw, and it makes this stage of the build very, very efficient. You can imagine trying to do this with a drill bit and a chisel. It can be done, and it has been done for years. However, it does take its time. So this does a fairly square cut to start with, and then we just tidy it up to the pencil line with the chisel and get all of those mortises done. So this is our half lap. It's going to sit in the middle. We kind of wish we did a scarf join there, but really in this sort of non-structural frame, it's absolutely fine. That's going to sit over the center post, and then on the ends, we've got a straightforward mortise and tenon with its corner brace.
Can we just rotate because I need to clean the bottom of this mortise up anyway? Or is that... That's the bottom, isn't it?
That's the bottom. It's baggy. Yeah, it's almost like I need to rotate mine.
You need to what?
Maybe if you were lower.
Good. Step to the back, aren't I? Everyone how visible that is. So we're going to see it from both the inside and outside, aren't we?
That's face apparently.
Right, first of many, well hopefully not too many test fits. So we've put the tenon up into the mortise, made sure that everything's sitting nice, made a note of anything that needs to be changed, and then once we're happy it's tight enough, then we can sit the corner brace on here, transfer the tenon marks across onto the post and the beam. Then I've plumbed down to give us the end of the tenons, and now just marking up, we're coming 50mm from the front face for the tenon, or for the mortise to be cut. And this thinner side of the framing square is 1.5 inches, which is what our tenon is. I think that's all good. So all we've got to do, this post was just sitting slightly forward of here, so we're just going to tweak things a little bit. We're only really interested in this front face. Because we're not planing all the timber this time round, we're going to leave it rough sawn. The reason being that all of our cladding's rough sawn, so it didn't make sense to plane it. But this front face and this front face are a reference point. We're not doing the whole scribe and plumbing, we're just kind of cheating a little bit, treating them as square pieces of timber. So that's our front face. So this piece here, this is 150 or maybe 149. This one's oversized a little bit, so there's a small step at the back. Now we could plane off the back, like we just planed off the top of the other one of these, because we want them to be the same all the way through. However, we'll probably leave that because that's right up in the top corner, black trim behind it. I don't think it's going to be an issue. So we're just interested in keeping this really nice and neat on the front. And of course, it's oak, it's green oak. In the sun, it's going to twist and move. It might look good on day one, but well, it'll always look good, but on, you know, day 100 it's going to have moved slightly and you won't even think about these tiny steps. So we'll get it good as we need to, but you know, it's not fine second fix joinery. That's phase 1 of frame 1 done as far as mortises. So this is the left hand sliding door. So that one I think Tom's just finished up, that's all fitting. I've just finished up mortising out this one, so we'll clean that up and make sure our corner brace fits.
Did it? Yeah. Shall I just rewind?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think it's about perfect actually. It should just drop straight in.
First time! Well, that's how we do it. Right, everything is put together again, or was put together, it's taken apart, we know it's all going to fit. Now we are marking up for the drilling for the peg. So the corner braces come in, they'll receive 2 pegs, so we just set them back and measured out evenly on both sides, marked up those. Same again here, and then we're just going for a single peg, I think, on the corner, on this tenon. Right, that is all the holes drilled in the posts and beams. What we now need to do is put it all together, and then we'll transfer those holes into our tenons, and then we'll offset them. So we're going to put it all back, well, blow it all out, put it all back together again, get it exactly where we want it, and then we can start fitting these in. And of course now is the first time we can actually fit these corner braces and check they fit. Yeah, nice.
So that post definitely needs to go towards forky.
So this is all looking really good here. This post here is just slightly twisted, so we want to make sure it's upright or plumb on the edges, so it's square on the front face, but also the bottom of this joint here is touching, the top isn't. So we shim under there, twist it back, and then we should be at a point where we can peg these, or drill them at least. Yeah. So this tool I'm using at the moment is known as a pricker, and in particular this one is an offset pricker. So on the end of that, it's got a slightly sharpened rim around it, and there's a prick on the centre, but it's about 3mm away from the true centre of the circle of that tool. So basically it gives you a pinpoint, which you know that when you've transferred that onto the timber, you can drill a hole and it will be exactly 3mm offset from the one you've already drilled. Then we're back onto mortises, so we've worked across to the other side of the centre post now, and we're working on the corner brace mortises. So you can see that this tool is slightly powdery, the chippings that are coming out, which basically means it's got a bit dull. I thought it was going to be harder to sharpen, and when I looked at the cost of these chains, or even trying to find someone to sharpen it, but mainly the cost, they were eye-watering. They were something like £300. So I am going to have a go at sharpening this one. It turns out that actually, unlike a chainsaw where you're trying to use the file on an angle, this you just go straight in on a horizontal. So it is arguably a little bit easier to sharpen, but I just need to make sure I've got exactly the right size file, and then hopefully we can just touch up all those teeth, and we won't have quite so much of the dusty chippings, and it'll be back to nice wispy shavings.
And I was going to try it out. I think this one was the slim one. No time. Oh, it's only that little bit there, isn't it?
At the end.
Probably adjust it.
The singing dog.
Oh, she's shot. Shot the tap. It's almost magnetic, isn't it?
You straddle that beam. Hang on.
Good.
Okay.
Do it. Where is it?
Right, that is frame final test fit done. We're going to pack this all away now because we can't do anything until the metal trim is all up. Even though the saddle stones are there, we're just going to hold off. So we're going to pack it all away. It's all labelled up, all carved numbers in, and we'll put it over in the shade so it doesn't dry and split too much before we get it up. Quick walk around. So this is joint 3. This is marked up now with the pricker, so we just need to take it apart and drill it. But apart from that, we're all good. Everything fit nicely, and remember these ones we're going to see from the back through the glass as well, so we're making sure it's nice and tight all the way around. And the central one, again, all good. These two pull tighter with the podger, but we've only got 2 podgers. We are the 2 podgers. And then that one we've taken apart already. So there we go. Job done. Pack away, make a coffee, start again. This one. So if you enjoyed frame 1, let us know down in the comments. Make sure you're following along by subscribing to the channel. We've got another big frame here, but this probably will be over 2 videos because obviously it's double height, a few different joins and angles in this one. And then we'll be back to this frame hopefully next week, and we'll be doing the big lift. We haven't quite worked out how we're going to get this one in place yet. If I can avoid hiring a telehandler, that would be good. So I think the plan is to use the genie lift. We can get the posts in and the braces, use the genie lift to just lower the top beams on. Whereas this one, we've got the concrete yard here, so we should be able to do some of this or most of it with the forklift. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.